Good evening. It is September 23rd, and we are going to be talking about Twitter, and we'll see how the discussion, where it takes us. We're going to give you a little bit of basics, and then we're going to talk about some interesting programs that are Hawaii-based, and also about chats. So let me introduce you to our panel. First of all, I am Lindsay, and I'm a Seabury Hall School librarian. And next to me is Michelle. Michelle, would you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Hi, I'm Michelle Colt, and I'm a librarian at Hawaii-Kula Elementary School.
Michael?
Hi, my name is Mike Furcano, and I'm a Tech Integration Specialist at Iolani School.
Great. Anne?
I'm Anne, a librarian at Kalani, and I don't use Twitter for help. I'm here to get help. Thank you.
Yet. You don't use Twitter yet, Anne. Actually, Anne is on Twitter. I know she is because I am following her, and I think she's following me. We're all following each other, finding our way. Okay, so I thought I'd start with basics a little bit about Twitter. So I'm going to do my screen share just to make sure that we all kind of know what it's all about. And I went straight to a Google search, and Google has its little box on the right-hand side, and this particular definition of Twitter is from Wikipedia. And Twitter is an online social networking service that enables users to send and read short 140-character messages called tweets. Registered users can read and post tweets, but unregistered users can only read them. And let me give you a little bit of a timeline of Twitter, which was, it's actually a very young company. It started in 2006, and Jack Dorsey, who was one of the founders of Twitter, tweeted. This was the very first. Oh no, it wasn't the very first tweet. Oh wait, it was his first tweet, and 36,223 people retweeted him.
He spelled
sorry?
He spelled Twitter wrong.
Oh no, he didn't spell it wrong. He just made it really short. Took out all the excess vowels. Yeah, vowels, right? No, excess. Yeah, vowels. Okay, so in October of 2008, it started to get some traction. So this is a couple years later. They were at the South by Southwest Interactive Festival, so they're gaining a little bit of fame. And in October 2008, they had a new CEO. And in January 2009 was huge because this was the first time that a huge event basically broke out on Twitter. So suddenly it became a place that broke news, not just tweeted news or someone's, having pizza or whatever it might be. This was big. It was world-changing, I think. I think it is. And so Twitter now is a news medium. Someone tweeted from space, Mike Massimino, who's an astronaut, tweeted in space, so that was kind of cool in April 2010. And then Twitter decided it wanted to make some money, so it launched some promoted tweets, 2010. And then he gets a new CEO again, Richard Costolo. 2011, this was huge. Actually, our sophomore history teacher used this particular Twitter set, I guess you would say, all the things that were happening on Twitter to teach about the Arab Spring protests. So this was huge again because now teachers are using Twitter to teach in the classroom because it's the best source. So that is huge, 2011. There was a privacy issue that came up, and Twitter did okay. Obama celebrated his re-election on Twitter. That was huge because the President of the United States came on, but the clincher was when the Pope came on. And all of a sudden, tweets became like, oh my gosh, the Pope is on. It's got to be a cool place to be. And so that was just last year. So Twitter is basically a young company. Then they brought in Vine, which is kind of like a little tiny 6-second, I don't know if you can see that, 6-second kind of video things that you can put on Twitter. And then they went public. And so now Twitter is worth a bunch of money. So they're doing pretty well. They added huge pictures, so it's more visual. From what I understand, there's another big update coming on. That's I believe it's more Facebook-like, but I'm not sure. It's going to be more like Facebook, so that should be interesting. I know. And I guess that's it up to now. Okay, I guess the IPO happened in November. So very interesting history for a company that hasn't been around for a long time. So it's very cool. So what I wanted to show Anne, I know Anne is a Anne is a Twitter user, but maybe, let me see, there's something here that I want to find, the anatomy of a tweet. Okay, so this is what a tweet looks like right here. And I like to go to the source when I'm talking to people. So this particular place that I am is media.twitter.com. So it comes from Twitter, and it's always up to date. But I wanted to show how the basics of what a tweet is all about. So number one is your profile picture, and you don't want to have an egghead, which is what you started with. That kind of tells people, oh, somebody made me do this. I don't want to be on Twitter. I don't even have a profile picture. So for number one, you should have some sort of profile picture, whether it's an avatar or a picture of a flower, or preferably, of course, your picture, because what you're doing is you're on Twitter to basically make professional friends, in the case of us educators. There are different reasons that people are on Twitter, but more and more education is taking the lead with people on it. So number two, where it says Twitter Media, that's your account name. And number three, where it says @TwitterMedia, that is the username. So in my case, it's Maui Librarian 2. In Michael's case, it's edtechnocation. In Michelle's case, she actually used her real name, which is great, Michelle Colt. And Aunt Tarige, I think, is A. Tarige, I'm not sure. So whatever you decide, I wouldn't do anything too cutesy, because you want to, you know, have a reputation. And so, like, you know, Kitty loves to eat or something like that would not be probably a professional sounding kind of name, even though. But try to have a username that fits you, that you can live with, that you love, and people will know who you are by your username. And then the number four is the date. So it's the date that you tweeted. And so you can actually, I think if you click on that, you'll actually get the time as well. And then number five is the text. So everything that's not in blue, or depending on how you set up your Twitter account, you might have your links and hashtags in different colors. But anything that's black is the text. So you're actually going to type that in. So that's basically your message, which you can intersperse with hashtags. And we'll talk about that in a second. You can put links. Number 6 is a link. And number 7 is a hashtag. Now, a hashtag starts with a hashtag, which is a £, other people call it £. And basically, it's any word or phrase with that symbol immediately in front of it, Don't put a space in front of it. I know some people have done that and wonder how come it doesn't show up. And make sure it gets colored. And the symbol turns the word into a link that makes it easier to find and follow a conversation. Now, I personally don't know what VMAS is, but somebody does, because they're telling with this hashtag, they're calling to other people saying, look, this tweet is about VMAs, so come and look at it. So it's kind of like a subject kind of thing. And then over here, there are different actions that you can do. You can reply to the tweet. You can retweet it. So if you see RT, that means retweet. You can make it a favorite. Just to know for yourself, though, if you make it a favorite, everyone knows that it's a favorite. And there are more things that are more advanced that we're not going to cover right this moment. But after Michael talks, we'll maybe talk a little bit, go into a little bit more about lists and such. But the idea for us as educators is to get in there, know what a tweet is all about, lurk around to see what's happening, make a comment if you like, be polite as you were in real life, and see what's there. It's going to be different for different people. So I think that's all I have to say. What I wanted to do is point you to this media.twitter.com, because it has everything you need to know about Twitter if you want to get started. And let's see. It also has the go to Twitter support, and you can ask all kinds of questions about it. I wanted to go back to, I wanted to go to the home of media, because I think it will have everything you need to know. As I said, I like to go to the source. This is different from what I saw. Sorry about this. This is totally different from what I saw like half an hour ago. What I wanted to do was look up, okay, maybe it's about, oh yes, this is what I wanted. No, this is not what I wanted to see. Okay, sorry about that. As maybe as Michael talks, I will be able to find what I was wanting. Actually, it's in the show notes. Let me just show you that. We started a show notes, and it is bit.ly/gr49 notes. And what I just talked about is right here in this blue box here. And you can go to Twitter Media, talked about what is Twitter, talked about the timeline. I didn't talk about the educational uses of Twitter. Let me do that. I forgot about that. Talked about the anatomy of a tweet and the Twitter Help Center. And so let me go to the Twitter Media first to show you what that's about. And it's not what I saw before. Here we go. Okay, sorry about that. Let me go to the educational uses of Twitter. And I found this Twitter for Education wikispaces.com, which is really pretty awesome. So because these are the different things you can do with Twitter. According to this wiki that was put together by a fellow, I'm sorry I forgot his name, I think it's on the, by Sean K. Ball. Let's see. And it says these are the different things you can do with Twitter, because Twitter, some people say, oh, it's not for me, it's celebrities. So here are 11 ways that you can use Twitter. You can use it to brainstorm, you can share online resources, which is actually what I do mainly most of the time, share online resources, connect to others around the world, and Michelle probably can attest to this, because I've seen her work her charm on Twitter and get people to show up for stuff. So definitely the connecting is nice, but it doesn't come right away. So don't be, don't be hesitant and discouraged, because Twitter does take a while to get used to, knowing what it is, what's in it for you. So you can publish, share links. You can use it for publicity. You can use it as a resource to get help. You can use it as a support group support. You can virtually attend conferences, and I know Michael and Michelle and I, and maybe Anne, I'm not sure, I haven't heard, have attended conferences using Twitter, like the Not at ISTE, for instance. That was a huge subculture of ISTE because we were able to know what's going on. Everyone's tweeting, and we didn't need to pay the airfare. Actually, Michelle was there in person, but Michael and I were part of Not at ISTE. You can back channel, and there's several ways to back channel during a lecture. Some people like it, some people don't. So make sure you know the person who's lecturing knows that you're back channeling, so they won't think, maybe they might not want to. So you got to make sure that you're courteous for sure. And during videos and slideshows, so you can do like a live reaction to things that you're watching, also during presentations, not only student presentations, but other presentations as well. So this Wikispace I really like, Twitter for Education Wikispaces. There's all kinds of stuff on this left-hand side, do's and don'ts in Twitter. So, this is a fun place to be. There's even a section on, I don't see it now, oh yeah, Twitter comics. So it'll give you a good idea of the educational culture of Twitter, not just the celebrity part of Twitter kind of thing. So definitely lots of value in Twitter. Any questions on what I did?
Linda, I just want to reinforce what you said, because even so many times people say to me, oh, I have too much to do on Facebook or other social media, and they're not thinking about Twitter as means to connect with educators or professional development to gather new ideas. So I like what you said. There's so many options. I couldn't quite see the list of 11 things that
oh, I'm sorry.
you recommended. No, it's fine, because I'll go to your link because you posted it.
Yeah, but I thought you could see it.
No, I could, but I mean, I was trying to read the fine print because I was looking for one other one that I wanted to share. And I know that Michael's going to talk right now about connecting. And I wanted to say, too, that a new trend I'm seeing at our school, I know it's been happening on the mainland, is that teachers are using Twitter to connect with parents. And so I think that's a neat way to build relationships with families and to show the learning that's happening in the classroom. So if we have time later, I'll show you an example of that. But Michael's going to share edchatHI, yeah?
Yes.
Also, I had a couple things to say. It's also a great place to connect with app developers and companies and businesses that, before social media, you'd have to send them an email or call their 1-800 toll-free number. But it's a lot easier to get a hold of those, those companies and businesses for the products that we use. And it's really great when you have somebody who's very responsive to that.
I love that, Mike. I'm glad you brought that up. And like Codable also offers webinars. So when you follow their Twitter stream, they have webinars at different times, and you can, or even chats, Twitter chats, where you can connect with them to get ideas or resources and other educators. And Linda, Andy Plemons, the librarian in Georgia, I think that he contacted Flipgrid, maybe via Twitter first, maybe not. But I see Flipgrid as another company that's very responsive. And I think as a result of Andy's connections with them, the creators even did a Google Hangout with his students. So that was really neat, to connect the developers with students who are the real users, actually, of the tools.
Yeah.
And I know there are a lot of authors on Twitter as well.
That's right.
And some of them are willing to tweet, have an hour of tweeting.
Yeah.
They're willing to Skype. And
Yes.
some of them are willing to come on Google Hangouts. So, it's
right.
part of a network. So you wouldn't just stay on Twitter or stay on G+, or stay on Facebook. You kind of take advantage of all the different media for different reasons.
Right.
Isn't that how your principal got Eric Schenninger to come to Hawaii?
That's true. I think she was Yeah, she tweeted. I think so. I think you're
Yeah.
right. And then I was just thinking too that that's how Rachel connected one of her students. Her students were researching parkour, and we didn't have any books in the library, and so Rachel thought, well, let's go to Twitter, and she found the Tap Brothers. And just the other day I tweeted that out in an ed chat, and the Tap Brothers favorited it, so I thought that was kind of cute. But
Cool.
they, as a result of the Twitter connection, they actually agreed to come on a Google Hangout with the student and be interviewed. It was just really neat. It's neat how Twitter opens new pathways.
Yeah.
That-
And I just wanted to go off on a slight tangent, but Linda, can you share your screen again?
Which one?
The New York Times timeline.
Oh, the Washington Post. I knew you'd ask me that because I was closing my tabs here.
Well, just wanted to
It's
comment
coming.
that
No, it's coming.
that
Okay, I
timeline
will.
showed. You can actually make your own at a website. So that timeline is from a
Neat.
website where you can create your own timelines. I just heard about it this week. It's called Timeline.js. So if you Google Timeline.js,
Oh,
you can
that
create
was.
your own timeline like that one and embed it into your site.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, yeah. So just
Timeline JS.
Timeline
Neat.
space JS. Yeah. I tried playing with it. I couldn't get it to work, but it's a little complex to get it set up. But it's pretty cool once you do.
That's neat.
I just recognized the timeline and I realized where it came from.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of third-party developers that have used Twitter and embedded in different kinds of ways. Lots of different ways that they've used it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. What about EdChat Hawaii?
Okay, so since we're on the topic of Twitter, of course we have to mention edchats. And there are plenty of edchats out there. I think Michelle is going to share some information about all the variety of edchats that exist in the Twitter sphere. But of course, Hawaii has to have an edchat. So a group of us local educators came together. I think it was maybe in December. Michelle and Linda, you're a part of that group. And we decided, why not have a Hawaii-focused Twitter chat? So we dubbed it edchatHI. So it's hashtag edchatHI. And it's been great. I think our attendees, our participants are slowly growing and increasing every month that we have a Twitter chat. Our topics are getting better, and the connections that we're making are exciting. And I'll screen share our website and give people some more information about it. There we go. So I put a link to our edchatHI website in the show notes for our viewers to take a look at later. But of course, so we have a website where we have a lot of different things that are involved in our edchat and ways to participate. We have a couple forums that we encourage our participants, our attendees to fill out. And for every edchat, we try to get the questions and the topic up there early on for people to prepare. But our edchatHI, it's the first Monday of every month. Unless that Monday falls on a holiday, then it's moved to the next Monday. But it typically will be on the first Monday of every month. So the next edchat is coming up on October 6th. And as you can see on our website, we haven't decided on a topic just yet in the questions, but we'll get those up soon, because October is fast approaching. And we, of course, have some basic information. We have a calendar of future edchats that you can add to your own calendar if you choose to. Follow along. We do encourage our people who participate to vote for future topics, and we want the topics to be generated by our participants so that it's of interest to them. So we encourage people to use our Google form here to vote for future topics or suggest their own. And it looks like this. So we have some topics that other people have suggested, and we've created a list that you can choose from, or you can suggest your own future topic. We always love knowing what everyone else wants to discuss. We also have a mailing list, so we try to get out an email before the EdChat to remind people of upcoming EdChats and the topics and the questions. So there's a form that people can fill out to join that mailing list. And for those new to EdChats, we do suggest a couple different ways to participate. We actually just tried a new way this last EdChat in September. It's a fairly new website called Nurph, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know, did you guys use it when you participated?
Yes,
Yeah.
we had to last time, remember?
Oh yeah, because
TweetChat was not working, so it was like, oh, baptism by fire, let's do Nurph, because we wanted to archive, and TweetChat was down. So yeah, I love Nurph.
Yeah, I got Nurph pulled up here. We used to use TweetChat. It's a third-party service that connects to your Twitter account, and then it's kind of built for Twitter chat, so it tracks the questions and the answers and that kind of thing. So TweetChat does that, but Nurph does that as well. But I think it does a couple more things that I think are very beneficial. What I like about Nurph is that it keeps track of those people who are also using Nurph during the EdChat. So there'll be a list down here of people participating. Mm-hmm. And then we didn't do it last time, but the guy who, I guess there's somebody on Twitter that was favoriting our tweets and responding to our tweets about Nurph. And he said that if you record the chat, it highlights the questions and the answers, but we didn't do that last time. So that's something I'm going to try to do this next one, and then maybe we can track the questions and answers a little better. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the way, I guess maybe I should explain how a Twitter chat works. The way we have it set up is our edchatHI lasts about an hour, and we typically have 6 questions that focus on a particular topic. And so we pose the question to our EdChat participants, and those participating can answer the question and respond to other people's answers and ask more questions. So it kind of builds this discussion around the topic, and some people may be new to the topic, some people may be experts to the topic, so it's great to have a variety of levels for the topic. So that's kind of how our EdChat works. I think most EdChats work the same way. And then, of course, we archive all of our past EdChats. So we have a list of archived chats. And if you want to go back and check out that chat, maybe you missed it, or somebody mentioned something and you forgot what it is, so we have a way to go back to that chat. And you can skim through the list of tweets and find what you're looking for.
One of the pluses of Nurph chat is that it does it chronologically. When we were in tweet chat, it was reversed chronologically, which is a little different brain than most people are used to. So I like Nurph chat for that, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, apparently there's a recording function that we didn't try. So I'm assuming the recording function I'm assuming it archives the chat.
I think it plays it, I stumbled on one. It plays it. It actually kind of plays it one after the other, and I'm going, okay, I don't know if I want to wait, but you can go away, and then I guess after a time, everything is there. Not sure what the reasoning behind that is, but it basically plays it, not in real time, but one after the other. Maybe for reading, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I would, if you want to participate in EdChat, I highly suggest that you use one of these third-party programs like TweetChat or Nurph, because in order to participate in an EdChat, you're basically following the hashtag, and when you use that hashtag in your tweet, other people can follow the EdChat discussion as well. So these places like TweetChat and Nurph, they just show you tweets that contain that hashtag, and it takes away all the other stuff that doesn't pertain to the EdChat. So if you're just going to use Twitter, then it can get kind of cluttered, and it's difficult to manage and follow. But if you use something like Nurph or TweetChat, it's a lot easier to manage and follow an EdChat.
And there are other EdChats, other state EdChats, right? We're not the only one.
Yeah, so I think I'm done with my spiel. So I think Michelle is going to talk about other edchats. Is that correct?
Yeah, I could say a little bit about that. But
Okay.
I just want to add in that we had kind of tentatively talked about our next EdChat in October being on social media in education.
Yeah.
And then in November, we usually meet the first Monday of the month, but in November we're meeting, I think it's the second Monday, so it follows Schools of the Future. And then we're going to be focusing on gaming in education in November. And I think, yeah, so that's kind of where we're going. I know we weren't sure exactly what our topics were, or we had to change them around a little bit.
Yeah, because October is Connected Educator Month, so I think that's why we said we were going to go on a social media thing to kind of connect with the whole celebration of being a connected educator.
And actually, Mike, isn't there something coming up like October 1st? Connected Educators, a first Twitter chat on October 1st? I thought I saw something in Google Plus about that. Is it?
It's,
okay.
It's like a kickoff EdChat for Connected Educators Month. I'm not sure what the hashtag is. Let me try to figure that out.
Yeah. Maybe we can put it in the show notes too.
We can. Is it CEOCT, meaning like Connected Educators October, I think?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But, okay, I just wanted to share a couple of things. Wait, let me see here. Okay, so I'll share my screen. Okay, can you see Cybraryman's list of Twitter chats?
Yes.
Okay, this is a huge list. It's kind of overwhelming. It's amazing what they've compiled here. And then they have their Twitter handles at the top, and they invite us to contact them with additional EdChats coming up. So I know, Mike, I think you contacted them to get edchatHI added. And so kind of what we're seeing first is, you know, the different EdChats in different states. Sometimes it's very specific. So in Rhode Island, there's even an art EdChat. I see special education. There's just so many different topics. Best practices in blogging. Teacher well-being. Here's an Aussie one. So I think there's just so many topics for all kinds of different people. I know, Anne, you work with teachers who teach AP literature. So there's actually an AP literature chat that happens. Oops, I'm sorry. I was just there on Sunday. So this is just Sundays. I should say this is how this document is set up. On the left, you see the hashtag, so you can follow that chat. In the middle, it's the topic of the chat. And then the next column is the time that the chat is offered. And you do need to check, is it Central Time, Eastern, Pacific, or even is it, you know, like here, Australia, different time zones. Check that. But there's just something for everybody. I also wanted to say that one of the neat things about following Twitter chats in Nurph or in TweetChat is that I so frequently, if it's a large Twitter chat, I get lost. Sometimes the questions come so fast or the answers so fast that I miss the questions and all the answers. But it's neat to go back and to read through the chats again. And I think, you know, don't feel frustrated or overwhelmed. Just follow and tweet what you can. I also think it's okay to lurk at first because I used to do that a lot. And I know that the emphasis is that we're supposed to be participating and sharing, but I think sometimes we need to do some watching and a little bit of maybe copying or recreating what we're seeing before we feel really confident to jump in with something. The other thing I wanted to share, Linda, when you were sharing the history of Twitter, and you had some serious things, the real events, like current events and political events. There were some silly things, too. So, for instance, Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet was recreated in Twitter. And this is Romeo that you're seeing here, and I don't think I have Juliet up anymore. I think I closed her tab. But I thought this is just so fun. And then, you know, what I see some teachers doing in the classroom is having the students research something or learn about something and synthesize their learning in a 140-character tweet. And if you can't, if your kids are under the age of 13 and you can't be on Twitter, you could probably use Edmodo or even a Google Doc, actually, with that same kind of intent. The other really fun thing that popped up a couple years ago on Twitter was that, remember the Bronx Zoo's cobra went missing, And so somebody kind of clever started tweeting as if he or she was that Bronx Zoo's cobra. And I think it's so fun. I'm an Egyptian cobra back from being out on the town. So I've forgotten, but I guess the cobra was found. And it looks like people are still tweeting from this account. So there are some silly ones out there. A little bit more serious, though. I just wanted to show really quick, give a shout out to one of our teachers. This is Janelle Ngamiao, who's a second grade teacher at Halekula, and she started using Twitter this year to connect with families and to showcase her students' learning. And Linda, this picture, I want to show this one because it's a shout out to a connection that we tried. We thought, well, should we invite Matthew Winner, who's this the busy librarian in Maryland, and very active in blogs and Twitter. Should we invite him to be on Google Rocks way back in, was it March, for World Read Aloud Day? And you know, he stayed up until I think, what was it, midnight, 1 in the morning to join us and to talk about World Read Aloud Day. What was really neat is we reconnected with his students for Dot Day last week. And then so cute too, they're also raising mealworms, and so Shaylee said, well, the update is some of the mealworms have died. But you know, it's just kind of cute that now students are learning, because what this teacher does is she, on Fridays, she lets some kids, I guess it looks like maybe 2 on Friday, share the learning for the week or the highlights of the week. And I think at this point she's still typing it. She might let them come up and type it. But the kids are learning. I'll just scroll through a little bit. The kids are learning now that Twitter is means of communication, and they like, of course, having their photos there too. We do have an acceptable use policy and also a, of course, the DOE photo and video that enables us to have students share and be they're not doing the actual tweeting again. They do not have Twitter accounts, but because of the policies, they can be photographed and shared. Yeah, so just kind of some neat things there. Let me check back on the notes. I think that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Doing some cool things with that, Michelle.
Can I share another EdChat tool?
Please do.
So Cybraryman's list is extensive and really cool, but I happened across, I guess Nurph runs their own Twitter chat, like database kind of a thing, and theirs is called ChatSalad. So I just happened across this when we had our last Twitter chat in September. Yeah, so theirs is called ChatSalad, and I guess there's some guys on the back end who are figuring out what all of these Twitter chats are, and they're compiling them into this list. And then it's not just edchats. I mean, there's all kinds. I saw like a nurse chat on here once, and I don't know what some of these are. Northern Ireland edchat, the LinkedIn Lady Show. I don't know what some of these are, but it's amazing. It's how many Twitter chats there are. But what I like about it too is if you log in with your Twitter account, it'll convert all the edchats to your local time, so you know when it is for you. And our edchat is in here, so you can do a search for a Twitter chat. And here's ours, and if you click on it, it'll give you the information about that edchat. So this is when it is in Hawaii time, because I'm logging in my Twitter account. It's monthly on the first Monday. These are all the hosts. This is all of us.
And you added this, right, Michael?
No, actually, this guy on Twitter hashtag is edtechstories.
Oh.
He was the one who was kind of favoriting, and I had some questions about responding. So he must be one of the founders of ChatSalad and Nurph, but he inputted in here. And then on the bottom here, it tells you when the next edchats are. So we know the next one is in 13 days on a Monday, and I think the join button takes us to the Nurph website. And yeah, so this is another great tool for tracking edchats. You can even subscribe by adding your phone number, and it'll give you a text message alert when the next edchat occurs, or when the next Twitter chat occurs. I haven't tried that feature out myself yet, but something that other people may be interested in.
Hey, Mike, thanks for sharing that. That's really neat. I like that one a lot. I like how, like you just said, how it converts it to the time zone, because actually there's just so many different edchats happening. And I think, Linda, another one that is, I'm not exactly sure when it started, but I think the originator, isn't his name Craig Kemp, and it's What is School? And isn't he in
New Zealand.
New Zealand, right?
Yes.
And I
On
just read
Thursday.
that he's going to the Google Teacher Academy in Manila, so I thought that was pretty neat.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, really neat. But I like, yeah, What is School? I thought that was a really neat one, kind of philosophical, but it joins educators around the world to talk about things happening in schools. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, there it is.
School.
And it's very well attended
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot
from
of
different countries.
I guess
Right,
it's every
wow.
Thursday.
I think so.
Yeah, looks like. Yeah, it is weekly on Thursdays.
Yeah. Hey, and Mike, you brought up how you can set up alerts. Is it? And you said it's through ChatSalad that you can set up alerts to find out when chats are happening?
Yeah, you add your
Oh, okay.
you add your phone number.
Oh,
And then-
okay, and he'll text you. That's what you said. Okay.
Yeah,
And then, because
Yeah.
that kind of raises a good point. You know, Linda, sometimes people say, I just don't have time for Twitter. I don't have time for all these different things. And I know you had shared some of your secrets to getting the most out of Twitter. Could you share with us some of the
I
ways?
have one. I want to share one secret. I'm prepared to share one secret. And it's about, it starts off with Twitter lists. So this is my Twitter account. I have no secrets, so I feel very comfortable showing you my Twitter account. Thanks to Michelle, who told me about the I Read Banned Books Twibbon, I put it on my profile, which is really cool since it's Banned Books Week. But to get to the Twitter list that I have created, I would go under More. And you can do this for actually anybody else. They're public. But actually, you can make the list public or you can make them private. So I have quite a few that I create. I subscribe to. Subscribe to mainly, basically, is what I created. So I have one for Hawaii educators, for instance. I have an MVP, and I talked with Michelle about this before. These are the people that I must have information from. I made that private because I don't want people to know about it. But there's one that's called Teacher Librarians that I've collected over the years, actually. I started in 2010. It's not that long, but over 4 years, I've collected 438 teacher librarians. If you're a teacher librarian, I'm going to follow you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm going to follow you because that's my take on Twitter. I want to know what the teacher librarians are thinking about on a daily basis. And I'll talk about how I do that on a daily basis without going down the down the Twitter feed. And I have 43 subscribers, so that means 43 other people are interested in that list. They're for themselves, so they have subscribed to it, which is really quite cool. So what I want to talk about is a newspaper that I made just yesterday, I believe, or the day before, of the teacher librarian tweets. I made it into a newspaper, and the newspaper is called paper.li. And paper.li it's not only for Twitter, but I use it for Twitter. You can actually also curate information from Facebook as well and other social media sources. But this is my list right here, and I made a paper for it. So what if you are interested in following this daily update of all of the tweets of the teacher librarians, you can subscribe to it. So you would put in your email address here and subscribe to it. And once a day, you can actually, I believe, you can subscribe to it once a day, or you can decide to get it in your email weekly. But it'll come right to your email, and you don't have to do anything. Basically, I call it the pulse of, in this case, school librarians. But there are other ways to do paper.li as well. And let me show you ones that have already been created by other people. So we talked about hashtags. And for instance, if you are interested in edchat, the hashtag edchat, right here, you could, this is the paper to go to get an edchat pulse of the day, of what's going on, what came down the pike for that particular day. So all that's required of you, because you have so much to do, is to just subscribe to that that newspaper, and it'll come to your email, and you can open it up whenever you can, which is very, very cool, I think. And there are different. I earmarked all of these are hashtags, so they're not they're not created by anyone. They're hashtags that come up, and for instance, English chat. There's one for M-Learning, which is mobile learning. I'm sure there's one for iPad learning. I didn't put it there. There's pretty much something for everyone. And what I've done is listed the ones that I think people would be interested in. There are many others. So you could actually make a paper for yourself or of your own hashtag, with your own hashtag as well. But there are other kind, and also social science, and my favorite, teacher librarians. So what does Linda Lindsay have in her email? I have, of course, the teacher librarians one, because I definitely want to know what's going on every single day, and I don't want to have to go through Twitter to find out. I want to see what's happening via paper.li. So if I went there, I would get the most recent issue of TL Chat, which happens to be this one, and it's updated. It'll be updated in the next 9 hours. I think it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and all I have to do is scroll down. Oh, that looks interesting. That doesn't. What you can do is, if you're interested in following up, is you can click on the person that tweeted it, and the tweet will come up, and you can choose to reply, retweet, or favorite, whatever you like. Remember that when you do favorite it will be public for everyone to know, which might be a consideration for you. So yeah, that's pretty cool for, that's my favorite. And then there are other ones that people like me, not like me, basically have chosen ways to share information. So for instance, Richard Byrne, you know him as the author of Free Technology for Teachers. He has a daily. And so if you click on that, you can go to it and subscribe to it if you like. Vicki Davis is huge. She's the Cool Cat teacher, and she has a daily tweet paper. Now what this means is not necessarily that she tweets it. She has basically chosen, she has curated people that she wants to, either wants for herself or she wants to share with us. And then this is another organization, the Creative Education Daily. In our curriculum committee today, where people were talking about the Education Week journal, and so this is Education Week also tweets. And let's see actually if it's from them, or this is basically content that they've chosen. So they've decided, for instance, that we don't exactly know how they chose it, but this SLPS, for instance, is in the content that they've chosen. So maybe the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. So all of these have been chosen by Education Week. It could be a list that they have created, just like I created my list. And you can create your own paper using hashtags or content. You can mix it up. You can say, oh, I want something from Cool Cat Teacher. You can add as many different kinds of content that you want. So that's pretty cool. And there's a Lit Chat Daily, and then Stephen Anderson, the Web 2.0 classroom author, he's on there as well. So these are ones that I've picked that I know probably have a general interest for people, but I'm guessing that if you would like to have your own, you would want to go to the paper.li newsstand, paper.li/newsstand, and find papers or people here. So if I were to do my own, primary librarian too. I could do Linda Lindsay, but that's a little tricky. There might be other Linda Lindsays. I will see that Linda Lindsay has the one that she just created a day ago. And this one I have created, this is actually kind of a service not only for myself, but for the people who were at the Google Teacher Academy in New York. I want to know what they're doing all the time. I want to keep that bond, you know, to know what can happen in the future. We do communicate with each other, but this comes out daily so that whoever tweets from that cohort of 50, we will know about. We will find out what they're doing. So, as of Tuesday, 14 hours ago, this is what they had tweeted within the last 24 hours. So it gives you a really good, you know, again, a pulse. And my editor's note was, this is a fun way to keep up with the doings of our cohort. So it's a great way to interact with people that you've selected. In this case, it's a group. So many different ways that you can use Twitter without having to scroll down that stream. And this is one of my favorite ways of doing that, because I know every single day I will know about teacher librarians and GTA and TL Chat. Those are the three that I keep track of. Any questions about that?
I think this is a really neat tool, Linda. I was wondering if you've seen high school students using paper.li, either following a hashtag of current events or of specific people, like who are dispensing information on a topic they're researching. Have you seen that at all?
I haven't seen it. I know it happens. I have not personally done it myself. Twitter hasn't really caught on with our students at my school, with the teachers or the students or the teachers. So I know it happens. Students can actually make their own newspaper,
right.
You know, selecting the content. Maybe they just want, if they want to do a health newspaper, for instance, they can do tweets from the different health organizations, do both sides of the question, or they can create their own from their own blogs. As something
okay.
that they can publish. And paper.li actually has lots of free things, but they're always saying, oh, if you want a better feature, you have to pay. So, of course, I always try to stay within the, I do stay within the free zone, always. Yeah.
Is paper.li only does it only work in conjunction with Twitter, or does it work with Instagram?
I'm not sure about Instagram. It works with Facebook, so I'm thinking Facebook has a connection with Instagram, so possibly. I think it's successful. I may be wrong, but I think it's most successful with Twitter. Because of all those educators that I showed you that use it still. I actually had done a blog post about Twitter in my Maui Librarian 2 blog in 2010, and so I knew today was going to be about Twitter, so I wanted to go back and update that. And actually, there wasn't much to update, which is like an eternity, right? 4 years on the internet that not that much is updated, and people are still using it. There are only a couple that you can delete the paper as quickly as you create it. The ones, everything was pretty current there, which was amazing to me. So I think Twitter is solid in that way for people who want to, for education and business. I guess they're really going for the business sector, but for education, really solid, I think.
And then I guess, you know the folks who are selected for the Google Teacher Academy, and you worked with them, so you know that they're professionals and they use their Twitter account as professionals. But I suppose one caution to people too, if they're creating this and sharing it out with students or other educators, is to really be sure you know who you're working with, or know the people you've chosen for your list. Would you say, Linda? Yeah.
That is true. Definitely true. You have to be very, very selective, because if you do have your list and you publish it elsewhere, it reflects on you because you're the one who has created the paper. I mean, you could go in there and manually take things out. That's a possibility, but you don't want that to happen. You want it to work all by itself and not have to worry. I actually have taken people out because, wait, what kind of, not good. So, yeah, be very, very selective about who who you put on your list. Excuse me. Anything else?
No, that's great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people posting with paper.li, but I've never really taken notice. Never really spent time to check them out. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll know.
I latched onto it because I don't know why I latched onto it. I like the idea of the subscription.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of an old-fashioned way now, but it's the way of me of holding back that huge Twitter feed. The other, I guess I should, when I go onto Twitter, let me share something with you about that. When I go onto Twitter, the main thing that I look at often is the notifications. So everyone has these. So what I want, the notifications basically is what's happening at the moment. So if I click on that, I will see, if it ever comes up, click on notifications. Oh, I see. I have to go back to home. Sorry, I'm still on the list. Okay, I'm so going to notifications on my home page basically, and I click on it, and yay, Michael Fricano has just done a shout out to Nurph ChatSalad and a shout out for us as well. So yay! So I can choose at this time to say, reply to Michael, say, Michael, thanks for the shout out.
Is this
There
true?
it is. I'm sorry?
I just want to ask. Someone on Twitter told me that if you begin a tweet with a mention like the @ and then the person's handle,
Yes.
then only that person sees that tweet.
That's correct. So when I replied to you, it went to basically you and me and the people that follow us.
So nobody else that follows.
So Michelle would be able to see that. I think I'm pretty sure. Oh, and sorry, no, it is I think it is a direct tweet. And the way to get around it is people put little dots in front of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
something to make it public, because you kind of, Twitter's pretty social, so you want to put a dot probably.
I never knew that before someone told me that this week. I always assumed that it was.
Oh.
I don't know though, Linda, because maybe it's like you said, if people follow you, because I can see your reply. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's because I follow both of you probably.
Right, I think that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
So if I really wanted to be private with Michael, I would go up here. Oh, sorry. I would go up here to the messages, and I would type a new message.
That's a direct message.
To Michael. This is a direct one, and this definitely would be, I don't think we had any bad, is this the first time I've ever tweeted directly to you? Oh my goodness. Hi, Michael.
So, Michelle, you can see that tweet that she just replied with?
Yes, but I'm thinking it's because I follow both of you, don't you think?
I think so.
I mean, it is connected. I can see the line going between you and Linda, so I know it's part of the conversation, but I think it's because I follow both of you.
Okay, so it's not necessarily like a private tweet that no one else
Right.
sees.
Yeah, it's less private. It's kind of like your friends only, I guess.
Okay,
Actually,
so the person who told me
I
that
thought it was a direct.
100% correct.
Yeah.
Because that,
You know what?
that person made me think it was a private tweet that nobody else can see.
No, it's just the DM is the direct message is definitely private.
Okay.
But you know what I'd like to be able to do though on Twitter is not that I use it that much, but when I first started using Google+, I'll be honest, I was a little confused about sometimes where the posts are going. And so I like that feature that I could look at my profile or the About Me from, how the public sees it, or even I could look at it from how one of my circles sees my profile. I kind of like that. And it would actually solve this dilemma that we're having right now, whether the public could,
We'll have to look at the help for sure. There are a lot of little quirks like that, so yeah.
Right,
That media.twitter.com that I shared that I never could get to, and the help is a great way to know that. But yeah, a little bit more advanced.
Yeah.
And you said earlier, Michelle, about lurking. A lot of people, that's all they do is lurk. That is what they use Twitter for. So
yeah,
one thing about it too. So it's fine. Whatever works. It took me 4 years to get to where I am, and I think the first 2 years it was basically link dropping and finding out what other people are, linking, learning, very much learning, sharing what I learned, and just only recently, there was some kind of communication, but it kind of snowballs, but you start with the little. I remember thinking, wow, that person has 700 people they're following and 700 people following them. Wow, that's pretty cool. But then what happens is you do find groups, like when you're in an ed chat, you're likely to get, follow 10 people and they'll follow you back because you've gained new friends in the virtual way that are interested in the same things that you are. So that's how it builds. And I believe that Twitter is only one of the tools, not the whole shebang. Wow, we're 2 minutes past. Horrible. Anything else? Are we good for Twitter today? Could I ask publicly, Michael, if we can do a Google Classroom thing next week?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay, because Michelle was asking, right? Michelle, are you there? You were asking about whether, didn't you want to share Michael's expertise with your class or something? I forget what you said on Google. Are you frozen, Michelle? Are you there? Is Michelle frozen?
I think she's frozen.
Okay. Well, I think if she wasn't frozen, she would say yes. So yay. Got the commitment from you, Michael. That's going to be, I'm going to put you in charge of being at the helm, okay?
Okay.
Because you are awesome. I have to tell everyone. Michael Fricano is really going full guns with the tutorials on Google Classroom. I won't spill the beans for everything, but gathering information for all of us, and it's really, really cool. So, yeah, maybe we can share our experiences. I have one teacher in my school that's started it, so I'm really excited, but in a small way, but in a good way, because it's for an English class, so she's really using it very, very deeply for writing for the kids.
Yeah, it works very well with the writing class.
Yeah, it's really, really neat, and she's enthusiastic. Okay. Alrighty, I think we're going to say aloha for now. Michelle, I think is there. And thanks, Anne, for coming and listening. Much appreciated. And we will see you next week with Michael-led Google Classroom. Okay, there's Michelle. Adios. Aloha, everyone. See you next week.